Hello, I'm Don Phipps, Superintendent of the Caldwell County Schools, and I'll be your host today for this edition of the Caldwell County Schools Profiles. And our topic today is the Caldwell County Agriculture Expo. It's a topic that we've been discussing for a couple of years in our county, and we're actually going to be able to pull something off this year. Very exciting. And I have with me today as a guest Anna Crook, who's the Director of Middle School Education in our school district, and you've been very involved in the process. And I want to talk a little bit about the birth of the idea and how things came to be and then where we are right now. And I want to go way back to a conversation that I had with Crystal and Neil Taylor, who came in, two local Caldwell County residents and parents in our school system. They wanted to put together some type of a program or activity or an initiative that would help build awareness of agriculture with our students. And I think not just the fact of an awareness of what agriculture involves, but how deep it runs and how many career opportunities there are, but also the appreciation of the hard work that goes on in the life of a farmer or a person who's involved in agriculture. So that idea started. I had a very similar conversation with a farmer back in Beaufort County named Steve Griffin. And out of that, we created an Ag Expo that turned into an event that had 11 school districts and about 1,500 students that participated. So I wanted to see what we could do in our county, and not necessarily to duplicate the efforts, but how would it look in our county? And we started the work. We were ready to get everything done last year at the fairgrounds, and then we had the pandemic issues, so everything was put on hold. Well, fast forward 13 months later, things are a little bit different, but where do we stand right now?
So at this point right now, we have decided that we're going to do our Agriculture Expo virtually. So what that means is we have gone to farms all over our county and in a couple surrounding counties, and we have explored what agriculture looks like and videoed. And then next week, April 19th through 23rd, we will put together a live Zoom session with every 7th grader in the district they will Zoom in with their teachers, and we will watch the videos and talk with the farmers. And we really think it's going to be a exciting experience for students because they're going to get to see what actually happens on the farm, and we're on location and just getting to experience all the things that we saw. So
our target audience again is who?
Our 7th grade students.
So is there a way for a student that's not in the 7th grade or even someone just in the community in general to be able to participate or view what we've created?
Yes. So when we're finished with the Zooms, we will upload all the videos to our Caldwell County Ag Expo website, which is linked to the Caldwell County Schools page, and people will be able to view those videos there so they can see what students learned about and just if they want to know more about agriculture in our county.
And agriculture is still the #1 economic driver in North Carolina. I think folks don't realize that, but when you think about livestock and all the other work that goes into it, it really is a driving force. What do we hope to accomplish by what we're doing?
I think we just want to open students' eyes to the opportunities that are in agriculture. A lot of times people think, well, I don't know if that's the career for me, or I don't know, but we know kids can do all kinds of things. Everybody's not destined for a 4-year degree. A lot of the people we've talked to, though, have 4-year degrees in agriculture or 2-year degrees in agriculture. So there's tons of opportunities. You can be a person who comes out of school and works in agriculture. You can be a person who gets a 2-year or 4-year degree and work in agriculture. There are tons of technology opportunities in agriculture. We met with Matthew Bowman, who built his own sprayer truck, and we got on and he showed us all the GPS technology, and so that is technology driven. There are just so many opportunities and connections there. So
it's more than plows and cows and feed and seed. There's a great deal. Even banking in the financial industry is connected there as well. Very good. This is not just a Caldwell County Schools event. We've had many folks that have been involved with us, many different agencies and different individuals. We have many businesses that have helped either in in-kind donations or financial support for the work that's being done. Can you talk about that, just the general support that we've gotten from our partners?
We've had tremendous support, and we have lots of financial sponsors, lots of sponsors who've come through and given us donations, in-kind donations. For every student, they're going to receive a t-shirt for participating, and it has all our sponsors on it. Some of our sponsors are Caldwell County Farm Bureau, Carolina Farm Credits, Blue Ridge Energy. The list goes on and on and on. Ford's Milling. I can't remember exactly the name, but Ford's Milling. So just lots of people have come out of the woodwork to help us.
And we have one of those t-shirts. We'll hold it up in just a few minutes, and it does allow us to showcase who our sponsors are and our partners, and we're so grateful for the work that they do. The logo for the event was actually designed by one of our students, and the student's name is Ethan Laws, and it appears on all of the Ag Expo materials that we have and our social media accounts and things like that. To me, that's a great tribute that we've got a student who created that logo, and it was very well done, and I think it speaks to exactly what we're doing. Where will you see that logo?
That logo, of course, is on our t-shirts. It is on our website. We're using it in all our marketing. When we push it out on social media, we try to use the logo. So it's everywhere, and it's a unique mishmash of the agriculture symbols and our Caldwell County Schools logo.
So compare and contrast for me what last year's event would have looked like and what this year's event's going to look like.
So last year we would have gone to the fairgrounds, and we would have had every 7th grader come through, and we would have had live animals, we would have had simulators, a combine simulator, all kinds of equipment. People talking about, we might have had a beekeeper talking about how they get honey. We might have had just things people could touch and feel, the difference between hay and haylage or hay and silage, just all kinds of things like that. In this experience, we've actually gone out to the farms. So we're still going to see equipment. We're going to talk about a combine, except in this, we had the farmer standing beside the combine showing us what it looked like and what each piece did. We had them get in the fertilizer truck and look see all the technology in the fertilizer truck and how that works. We got in and we walked into a grain silo. So things like that, we definitely couldn't have had a grain silo at the fairgrounds. So that was unique for us. Hopefully, when if we can continue this, next year we'll be able to use some of our video footage to prepare students so they have some background knowledge, and then they'll get the hands-on 5 senses experience at the fairground.
And that was going to be my next question. I think throughout this year, we've had to do things that we realize maybe we want to continue to do in some ways, not just in the Ag Expo, but just in the general delivery of education. And the video part and the pre-learning and the preparation that could be done up, prior to the event, I think is one of those examples. As we wrap up this segment, tell me something that you saw when you all went out and visited farms that just either surprised you or something that you learned that you didn't know before.
Oh my goodness. I think the fact for me that we have learned is there's so much science in every piece of this. We went to Blenson Hereford, and I think the moment for me, I thought this is going to be so great for our kids, is he was talking about how he calves and how he makes sure all his calves come at the same time. And he does that through artificial insemination. And he uses an embryologist that comes in. And when he took us in to his barn and he pulled out, he said, here is what we use. And he pulled it out of this tank, and it was liquid nitrogen. It was smoking. It was almost like we were watching a sci-fi movie, but it was right there. And I thought, this is so cool. There are so many applications of this for students.
And I've heard you talk about the sprayer that you mentioned. Something like that, as simple as a sprayer, there's so much more complicated work that goes into actually doing the spraying, but not even to mention the design of the sprayer itself.
Absolutely. And when we were with Matthew Bowman, he talked about how he built that truck from scratch, and he knew he wanted it to do a certain thing, and so he made the boom arms so long, and then the pieces in the middle have to still spray, and it's controlled with the software that tells it where it's been. It's very fascinating.
Well, there's so much work in the school system that gets done behind the scenes, and I want the public to know the work that you've done. And we're so proud of your efforts, not just in this, but everything you do. But the success of this program this year, a lot of the weight is on your shoulders, and you've carried it very well. Thank you so much for your efforts and your passion and the energy that you've had. And we look forward to having this event so that students can experience much of what you've experienced. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We hope you'll join us as we come back for segment number 2. I'll have Randy Seldumridge, another member of the team here in Caldwell County, who'll be talking about some of the work as they've gone out and doing their videos. Please come back and join us. Hello and welcome back. We're in segment 2. Our topic continues to be the Caldwell County Schools Agriculture Expo, And I have with me now on the set Mr. Randy Seldomridge, and I want to make sure that I read the title because it captures your title, but not nearly all the things you do. K-12 Instructional Technology / Media Curriculum Coordinator.
Yes, sir.
And all other duties.
Yes, sir.
Which you do many things. We're grateful for that. Thank you for being with us. You've got the t-shirt that I mentioned earlier in our first segment, and I just wanted to hold it up and let folks see the logo that Ethan Laws created on the front. Again, it's on the t-shirt and a lot of the other materials that we have that will be associated with the Ag Expo. You can also see that on our Facebook page. If you go to the Facebook page, the picture of the logo is there when it was created early on. And then on the back, we have a way to be able to recognize our sponsors. And these are sponsors who have done financial contributions and in-kind contributions, and in some cases, both. But we couldn't do the work that we do in this event or anything else that we do without having the support and the partnerships that exist within our communities. We're very grateful for them. Randy, what has your role been in the Ag Expo as we look at the 2021 version?
I've been kind of behind the camera with Miss Crook, just filming and going to all the farms and trying to prompt some questions every now and then. I was raised in West Virginia on a farm and worked for a veterinarian, so I had a few questions to throw out to ask that Anna might not have known about. She was raised on a little bit of a farm as well. So it was a unique mesh of the two of us together, but it was really interesting, and I learned so many things.
Well, having grown up around farming, were there things that you've encountered that have surprised you or that were eye-opening for you?
Yes. I did not know. My grandfather raised honeybees just as a hobby, but I did not know that you could artificially inseminate a honeybee, like a queen honeybee. I'm still amazed at that. I tell everybody that. Who knew?
What about the technology that you see being used by farmers?
Like Ms. Crook spoke of earlier, the fertilizer truck or the spreader truck, that it has the GPS in it that when he drives down in the field, he does his first pass, and when he turns to come back, if the sprayer goes over where he's already sprayed, it cuts the sprayers off, so it eliminates the amount of waste that is going to be used. So in a 1 acre field, he uses about 15 gallons of fertilizer and water mixture, so that's like 3 5-gallon buckets. So that's not a lot for an acre of land, but the truck makes sure that it's not too much and it's enough. And then he's got another like a lime spreader that it is GPS controlled, so he can do his first pass down the field, turn it around, and then it'll self-drive itself. Like, I compared it to like a Tesla, so it'll drive itself to the other end and stay in line with where it was, but he has to turn it to make it go back down the next row. So just those fascinating aspects of the technology that's there to help make their jobs easier and more efficient.
I was in Beaufort County prior to coming to Caldwell County, and in Beaufort County they have farms that are thousands of acres. So the use of drone technology was a big deal there, and I hope that we're able to explore that, maybe on a smaller scale, but there's a lot of work that happens just in the area of drones and robotics and tractors and other types of equipment. So we're excited about that, and we're looking at what we'll do in the years to come. What are some of the questions that you pose to the farmers or to the business owners as you all have gone out to do the videos?
Some are like about taking care of the animals and the farm. It was like how they made sure that their crops were productive, and a lot of them use the rotational method, and they leave the crops laying on the ground to fertilize and hold the soil down. So they don't do, at Matt Bowman's farm, they don't till. So they're a no-till farm. So just questions related to that, like how, why, what difference does that make? And some of it was like how do you pay your bills? Like, well, the expenses related to it, because farming is not cheap. Like, I cannot imagine the trucks that were there with the technology in them, what that would cost to do, and how to be able to make a profit from that.
Well, what do you hope the takeaway is for our students that will be involved in this?
I hope those students that maybe aren't interested in a 4-year degree will decide I can go get a 2-year degree, or I can find a job that I really can enjoy doing what I want to do. You know, none of my brothers or sisters have went to college. They have jobs. One actually does work on a turkey farm there in West Virginia, and he loves what he does. So you don't have to always pursue that 4-year degree. You know, just as long as you pursue something that makes you happy when you work.
And the career awareness, the opportunities that are there, we certainly want students to be aware of. I also want to make sure that students understand where food comes from.
Right.
And I think we assume that folks know that. Adults and students, I don't think, always realize the hard work and the effort that goes from the beginning to the end process and how we follow that through. But thank you so much for your involvement, for all you do for our school system and for this project. And we look forward to showcasing the work that you and Anna and others have done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time today. We hope that you will go to our Facebook page and look at all the information that we have on the Agriculture Expo. And until next time, we'll see you later.